Probably. It all started, as many things do in the world of Donald Trump, with a bold announcement. This was going to be the parade to end all parades, a celebration of patriotism, greatness, and, well, mostly of him. The idea: a massive procession down a major American street, a sea of red, white, and blue, with Trump at the center, soaking in adoration. Pitched as a thank you to his loyal base, it was hyped as a spectacle so grand it would make the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade look like a bake sale. The plan was laid out in late-night posts and press releases, a tribute to America, a day for the forgotten men and women to show their strength. This wasn't just a political event. It was a cultural moment, a time for the overlooked to stand tall. Organizers promised military-style flyovers, though the Pentagon declined, marching bands, and floats depicting great moments in American history, with a special emphasis on recent years. The chosen date, June 15, 2025, was picked for perfect weather and maximum turnout. The location, a wide avenue, ready for millions and TV cameras. The narrative, a powerful rebuke to critics, a show of force for the silent majority. The stage was set for a comeback story of epic proportions. But even early on, there were whispers about logistics, costs, and whether people would actually travel for a one-day event. These concerns were brushed aside. They will come, the campaign insisted. The belief was absolute. The faithful would answer the call. The streets would be flooded. The world would watch in awe. The only question, just how massive, how spectacular, how truly tremendous it would all be. The answer, as it turned out, would surprise everyone. The hype machine went into overdrive. Every rally, every interview, every post was a commercial for the big day. Trump promised a spectacle for the ages, better than any military parade, filled with love, not tanks. The media was told to expect record-breaking crowds. Volunteers mobilized, digital teams pushed out slick videos, and supporters shared why they'd make the pilgrimage. The narrative: this was about family, faith, and freedom, not just politics. Merchandise flew off shelves, hats, coins, t-shirts, proof, organizers claimed, of unstoppable enthusiasm. Behind the scenes, pressure mounted: permits, police, entertainment, all scrambled together. Each small victory was trumpeted as historic. The hype was a runaway train, and no one saw the cliff ahead. The morning of the parade dawned bright and sunny. Streets were lined with barricades and flags, a massive stage at the finish, Trump's greatest hits looping on a giant screen. News crews staked out the best spots, ready for an ocean of humanity. Food trucks and portable toilets lined the route. Volunteers in vests buzzed with excitement. The speeches were prepped, the teleprompters tested, Trump's address rumored to be one for the ages. His team envisioned triumphant camera shots, aerial views of packed avenues. Everything was in place, except the people. As the clock ticked toward 10 a.m., a strange quiet settled over the route. It wasn't anticipation, it was emptiness. News anchors exchanged confused glances. Volunteers' smiles grew strained. Food vendors checked their phones. The calm wasn't before the storm, it was just calm. The parade was set for 10 a.m. sharp. At 9:45, the streets were still empty. A few dozen tourists and about 50 die-hard supporters clustered near the stage, their cheers echoing in the void. The high school marching band waited awkwardly, instruments gleaming, for a signal to start. At 10, nothing happened. A nervous announcement delayed the start. News anchors shifted from anticipation to amusement, showing empty streets beside old rally footage. Volunteers paced, dread creeping in. By 10:30, it was undeniable. This was a no-show. Organizers panicked, blaming everything from the date to media suppression. Wide-angle shots showed more asphalt than people. At 10:45, the parade began anyway. The band marched, music echoing down deserted avenues. The first float rolled by, majestic but unseen, a surreal spectacle with no celebration. In his hotel suite, Trump watched the coverage and was not pleased. At first, denial. The cameras are lying. They're only showing the empty parts. Aides nodded, muttering about media bias. As the emptiness persisted, denial turned to anger, blaming staff, media, even the perfect weather. "Get people out of the buildings! Offer free food! I'll sign hats!" Desperation set in. The campaign's official response. The crowd was spread out for safety. When aerial shots debunked this, a new spin. "Our supporters are so smart, they stayed home to watch on TV. Record ratings." Trump posted furiously. Lamestream media refusing to show the massive crowds. "Millions here, just out of camera shot. Sad." The posts grew more frantic, a real-time attempt to rewrite reality, but the world was watching the empty streets. The sad procession turned unintentionally comic. The planned balloon release went awry. A gust of wind unleashed thousands of balloons at once, swarming a hot dog vendor and the band. The MC, facing empty pavement, boomed, "Are you having a good time out there?" A single "woo" echoed back. Undeterred, "Let me hear you make some noise." The only reply, scattered shouts and a pigeon's coo. The floats, designed for distant crowds, looked absurd up close. One float's Thomas Jefferson mannequin toppled onto John Adams, creating a meme-worthy moment. The parade limped to its end. Trump's planned triumphant speech was scrapped, no crowd to address. Instead, a B-list country singer performed to news crews, volunteers, and the fallen founding fathers. It was a performance for the ages, for all the wrong reasons. Before the last balloon hit the ground, the blame game began. First target, the media. "Coordinated blackout," claimed a spokesperson, ignoring weeks of coverage. Next, big tech. Organizers alleged shadow banning and algorithmic sabotage. An internal memo listed tech companies to blame, complete with talking points. Even the city was blamed for supposed obstacles, despite approving permits and providing police. The story shifted. Millions wanted to come, but were afraid of being doxxed. Trump posted, "Our supporters are under siege. They stayed home to protect their families." The empty streets became a sign of a climate of fear, not apathy. In the end, everyone was blamed. Media, tech, city, political climate. Except the planners. The party that nobody came to was everyone else's fault. When the dust settled, the real question emerged: why did it fail? The answer: exhaustion. Supporters were tired. Years of rallies, protests, and campaigns had worn them out. The political mood had shifted. People cared more about daily life than another spectacle. Even loyalists saw the parade as more about Trump's ego than the country. Organizers mistook online enthusiasm for real-world commitment. Likes and merch sales didn't equal turnout. The echo chamber convinced them a mighty army was ready, but most were just scrolling at home. The novelty had worn off. Rallies felt predictable, speeches repetitive. The parade was just a bigger, pricier rerun. In the end, people didn't show up. Not out of fear or conspiracy, but because they just weren't interested. Sometimes the loudest message is the one sent by staying home. The aftermath was as telling as the event itself. For days, organizers tried to spin the parade as a huge success, cherry-picking photos and touting unverifiable online viewership. But the images of empty streets were too powerful. Soon, even loyal media stopped mentioning it. The silence was deafening. The parade vanished from the narrative, a collective amnesia taking hold. The lesson for organizers: next time, pick a smaller venue to control the visuals. For the public, the empty route was a symbol. Political power isn't just about noise, but about millions quietly choosing not to show up. The failure showed that movements built on personality and outrage need constant fuel, and audiences get tired. The Great Parade became a punchline, a story of hubris and disconnect. The empty streets didn't roar with a silent majority. They echoed with awkward silence. And that silence, in the end, spoke volumes.